Hi guys, this is Madhvi from TaroticallySpeaking.com, and I just wanted to make a really quick video talking about eclipses because that's what people are talking about these days. The eclipse that just happened on the 26th. So I was like, okay, so do we have eclipses that are shown in the imagery of the tarot cards? Let's take a quick look, shall we? Right. So here's what happens. When we have a solar eclipse, it usually shows up at the new moon, and it's when the moon passes between the sun and earth. And when a lunar eclipse happens, it's at full moon when the earth passes between the sun and the moon. So this as you can see, it's on Google. And here, let me show you this. This is all, diagrams and stuff. This is a solar eclipse, right? So here's the sun, here's the moon, and this blue disk is supposed to be the earth. So when the moon comes between the earth and the sun in this proper alignment, you have a solar eclipse. All right. And that wasn't the eclipse that we had on the 26th of May 2021. That was a lunar eclipse. So how does that look like? Here we go, next tab, and here we are. What happens in a lunar eclipse is the earth comes between the sun and the moon, and so the earth blocks out the sun's light. All right. And so this is the whole scientific part of it, and which is why you have a lunar eclipse on a full moon and a solar eclipse happens at a new moon. So now coming to the original point that I was trying to make with this video, and these are cards I'm showing you from the Smith Wade Centennial Edition. As you can see, sorry about the light, it's there, it's shiny, can't be helped. So let me just put this aside. So the first card that comes to mind, the card that shows an eclipse happening, is the Eight of Cups. As you can see over here, you have the sun, which is being obscured by the moon, which is which kind of eclipse, guys? Didn't we just learn this? The moon coming between the earth and the sun. We have a solar eclipse, right? So what the significance of solar eclipses, especially symbolically, is really interesting because the sun represents clarity. It represents the beginning of the day, right? So everybody is getting up, and every dark places have light in it now. It's natural light, and nothing is hidden. Everything is seen. We get to work. We get to do this, that. And plants receive their sunlight, and crops receive their sunlight, and they grow. So sun is all about that energy, right, of getting up and going. Moon, on the other hand, actually, as we know scientifically, it reflects the light of the sun, and it shows up in the night when the sky is all dark and stuff, right? So again, very symbolic now that this is a time of rest. This is a time where you don't really work, and the light of the sun is reflected. So this is a time perhaps of reflection. So you take that symbolism here, and when you see an eclipse happening, this is obviously during the daytime because the sun is up, but the moon comes and clouds it. Moon comes and blocks the light of the sun. So here you have a time where, even though there is clarity, for a moment you are you're being told, like, pause for a second, consider the emotions. Now look at the imagery of the Eight of Cups. All these cups are emotions and feelings. All this water here, he's walking away from this to be by himself, maybe. And I also like how the cups are stacked. You have the Three of Cups, which is all about celebration, and then you have the Five of Cups, which is all about sadness, and so you have happiness and sadness, and he's putting that away, and he's distancing himself from it, perhaps emotionally distancing or whatever, and he's physically also distancing. He's walking away, because in this time of day where clarity reigns, where logic reigns, he's still taking the time, because it is the eclipse, he's taking the time to distance himself from his emotions and maybe seek real clarity, right? Inner clarity, perhaps. So it's a lot to dive into. And this eclipse symbolism really adds into it. I mean, if there was just the moon in the sky without the sun behind it, would this have made a difference in the meaning? Think about it, right? Another card that comes to mind where eclipses show up is actually the moon card. Now, I did look into this is the pictorial key to the tarot, right? I have that book from ages ago, and I've marked the page. Hang on, here we go. And I'm so sorry. So I did go through this. It doesn't mention the word eclipse specifically here. It doesn't mention anything like that. But I did read somewhere in some book or some blog, which I cannot remember right now, that this is also an eclipse, that behind is actually the sun, and this little part is the moon where the face shows up. Now, again, this is purely speculative because it doesn't say that very specifically in the pictorial key to the tarot, which I believe is, you can say it's one of the authoritative books on the Rider-Waite symbolism, right? But if you want to look at it as an eclipse, this is also interesting because the moon is actually, like I said earlier, it reflects the light of the sun. So having the sun in there could also be very, very interestingly part of the intricate symbolism. And then you have all this light, the reflected light coming in, an eclipse happening, right? And this is where now the moon is dominating the sun's energy. And then we have the wolf and the dog, the two primitive energy forces, this little creature coming up from the depths of the pool, which is talking about all the hidden shadow stuff. And then you're traversing through it, and all the wisdom of the reflected light is sort of dropping on you in the shape of the yards. This is a lot of symbolism here, but it's pretty interesting. If you look at this as an eclipse, that really also adds a lot of tremendous value to the meaning of the moon card itself. So here you have it. These two cards have the symbolism of eclipse in it, and that really adds value to their meaning. Now, here's a little bit of shameless self-promotion coming your way. I have a PDF guide called the Tarot Keywords Reference Guide up on my website, right? This is the printed version of it. I got it printed from Staples. I got Carl bound. You get it in the portrait and also the landscape version. And as you can see, I have marked it for the Eight of Cups, but here you can see it has got the meaning of the different symbols, as all the symbols on that card, Eight of Cups, and the meanings of those symbols. But along with that, for both upright and reverse, it's got a whole bunch of these contextual meanings. You have the general meaning, the meaning if it was, if you're looking at it in a work or finances related reading, relationships, spiritual. If this one comes in the advice or guidance position, then how would you reinterpret the meaning? And again, for the reversed as well. So I've done that and literally you have a page dedicated for each card. And I have done this for all the cards. What? Major and minor, you will find these meanings, right? This is a lot of work. Here you go, moon, right? The eclipse. All the symbolism, meanings, everything is in there. And I will be putting a code on the screen. And if you apply that code at checkout, you will get a sweet discount when you buy my Tarot Keywords Reference Guide from my site. I'll put all the links on the video screen here, so you can go buy it if you want to. And I want you to buy it. How about that? Go buy it. It'll be worth it. All right. So this is my little eclipse video, and I hope you like it. And if you like it, please, hit the like button and share, subscribe, join my tarot group, all of that. Buy the PDF guide. I use the discount code, buy the PDF guide. And Tell me what you thought about, what the moon symbolism is, and if whether you think it is an eclipse or not. I'm really keen to know. What do you think? Is this an eclipse or not? Let me know in the comments, and we'll get talking. All right, I guess I'll talk to you soon. And in the meantime, you guys, stay good, be good, and play with your tarot cards. Bye now.